Hello, friends. I'm Cory Williams from Daydream Studios and the creator of Silly Crocodile. And before I get into this, I just want to share my intentions with you. My intention for this is not only to share you a pipeline that's really fast and really easy and can be done on almost no budget, but also I want to share my way of life as a creator with you. Because I feel like a lot of what we're missing right now in our industry, game development, storytelling, all of that, is the story, is the why, is the deeper reason why we create. And I also want to share with you how to connect with an audience in a whole different way. So while you came for a pipeline, I hope you leave with something more. I want you to become a better creator. Because my whole goal in life, my entire reason for telling stories, is because I live forever through the inspiration I give others throughout my lifetime. That's everything. So the more I can do for all of you here at Unreal Fest and for the rest of you at home, the better I'm going to do for the world. It's a ripple. So tell great stories. I hope this helps you get there. And now I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to my great friend, the Silly Crocodile. All right, Silly Crocodile, come on out.
Okay, I'm coming. Oh, what's that? There's a physics. Hey, everybody. This is my world, and I'm the Silly Crocodile. As you can see, I can walk around in my world and do all the things. Follow me.
Whoa, Silly Crocodile, where'd you go? You just disappeared.
That's called magic and physics.
Oh, hang on. Where are you at?
I'm over here, see? What you saw where I went, didn't you?
Well, see, Silly Crocodile, Unreal Engine sometimes can be a little bit chaotic. It's not always perfect.
Oh, what's perfect anyway? You think that the beauty of life is not the things that are not perfect. Look at my legs. Do you see how they move? They just go back and forth. And do you want to tell them how to do that?
Well, yes, I will tell them how you're made and everything. But first, can you tell me about your world?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so follow me. We're gonna go this way, and what I like to do is play hide and seek with kids a lot because the kids, Cory's kids, and they love playing hide and seek. So watch, I'm gonna hide, and you will not be able to find me. Everybody close your eyes. Okay, find me.
Silly Crocodile, I can see your tail.
No, you cannot. I am hiding too good.
Okay, look, I know you've been doing a great job hiding. You've done a lot of experience.
How do you always know where I'm at? I try my best. I climb in trees. I go to space. One time I went underground, and I even jumped in lava, but you still found me.
Yes. Okay, but can we get to this? I mean, look, everybody, I never know what Silly Crocodile is going to do or how this is going to go. I didn't prepare any of this.
Of course he didn't, because he never prepares anything. And the narrator does not know anything. He just kind of lets things go how they go, and we find out. Oh, by the way, narrator, I got a question for you.
Okay, Silly Crocodile, can we get back into where we're supposed to be?
Oh, yeah, in front of this thing. Okay, back in the frame. Oh, you see a box? Okay, the question that I have for you and for everybody else at Unreal Fest, I've been seeing lots of these pins that was handed out that had a crocodile on them. Was that me?
No, Silly Crocodile, that was not you. That was actually an alligator because we're in Florida.
Oh, yeah, Florida. That's not. But what's the U on there? I don't know what that is.
Oh, the U is, again, it's an alligator.
Did you say I is an alligator?
No, I said you. The U on there is an alligator.
I'm a crocodile.
Okay, we're not going to get into this. Anyway, Silly Crocodile, let's show them what you're made of, and then we'll get into more stuff.
Okay. Oh, this is going to be creepy.
Okay. Legit, when I do these things, man, every episode I create is improv. Every video, on average, gets, I think it's like between 4 and 6, 7 million views per video. And on the channel, I range between 20 to 30 million views per month on YouTube. And man, today I was so close, I almost hit 1 billion views on my YouTube channel. And I started this in 2019, but in Unreal Engine, 2020. So I'd never even touched 3D before that. I'm completely self-taught and all of that. So what you're gonna see is the simplest possible method to create something like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and open up the character blueprint of Silly Crocodile so you can see what's under the hood, why this works, And what's really great is at the end of this, I'm pretty much gonna give you the Silly Crocodile to work with at home for free so you can do this too, because let this out into the world, let people use it. All right, so how does it work? How does Silly Crocodile move around? First of all, without getting too into the details, it starts off, let's go to begin play. It starts off and it says, okay, first of all, are we recording? I'll usually hit yes, we're recording, and that'll be like so I can add it to the sequencer later on and be able to do more with it, and that's just recording all the animation. It's really great, but of course what you saw wasn't recorded, that's just real time. I do that a lot. Okay, moving on, and then we get the player controller added in there, and then go into all the mapping. Simple mapping, I don't think I did anything. I think that was like literally right out of Unreal Engine, and I didn't change a single thing. That's what it's about, man. Get this, I believe in this thing. It's called the 80-20 rule. Get to 80% of the results in 20% of the time. Tell a great story. That's, if you've never heard of that, look up 80-20, 80-20 rule. It's a great audiobook you can follow. And then let's go to how does the face move? Because you're probably looking at the face and it's opening and closing the mouth very easily. And I'm just using my iPhone. I mean, notice no motion capture suits, and I'm using this thing is like $15 on Amazon. Pretty great. So yeah, I'm gonna show you how this works for the face. So just like the blinks here, we're hiding and unhiding things. Because over here on the left side, you see we've got the head, we've got the different mouth shapes, and so I'm hiding and unhiding. And this little Boolean right here that says true or false is showing or is not showing is gonna be called by Apple ARKit, because you can get all the data from Apple ARKit. I know I'm going a little fast, but yeah, and by the way, my timer is not run. Okay. So let's get into the visemes, however you want to call it. I don't know, but we're going to jump into it. And this is how all the face shapes are shown. And this is really great. I'm going to show you something else really fantastic. So I'm going to double click on that. And it might look a little complicated, but it's really not. It's super simple. I guess straightforward is maybe the better way to say it. So what we're doing is I'm grabbing live link face. It's the live link data that's coming from my iPhone into Unreal Engine. And I'm saying, okay, now that I've got that data, what I need to do is pull that data. So I say, hey, data, can you tell me the list of things that you have coming to me? What are the values that I can do things with? Hello, there's a honk outside. I have ADHD, can you tell? So we get that data, and then we're separating it from what it is, the ARKit names, from the values, the float of each of these. So moving on, here we are, we've got the values. It looks like I didn't even do anything with the property names. That's hilarious. So here we go. The green line is the values. Values are always gonna be 0 to 1, 0 being nothing, 1 being as much as you possibly can, right? And then here, we're moving forward, so this is a sequence. It's just going through really quick and checking everything constantly. It's just a cycling thing. So first, we look at, okay, ah. The ah shape of the mouth is mouth full open. Now, the best way to explain how this is happening is when I open my mouth all the way, that would be like a 1, right? 0 to 1, jaw open. That's all it's really doing. And so what I'm doing is, okay, this is that's 1. Let's do 60%. Let's do 30%. And let's do mouth close. So what I'm doing is using basic stuff. So if it's over 0.5 in terms of how far the mouth is open, it says hide everything around the mouth and only show it's basically just a sprite. It's just an image that's sitting on a plane. It's as simple as it gets. And it just hides and unhides those face shapes based on that. So yeah, 0.5, and if it's less than 0.5, but more than 0.3, in this right here, this in range, then it shows the second one. Does that kind of make sense to you all, how that works? And everything is based on that. Simple as that. So why did I go with basic shapes like this? And I will actually go through here. If you guys want to see it, you can go back online and you can copy it. That's fine. Why did I go with this way? Because first of all, it's simple. I don't want to have to reinvent the wheel. I don't want to have to do more work than I need to do. But more importantly, I know my audience. I know their children who, they don't care about the perfection of a face. They care about the perfection of the story and how much they can connect. And I'm not here to tell really quick and poppy stories. I'm not here to cut really fast and do this. I like to connect and take my time with all of that. But the things that I don't want them to get stuck on are the mouth shapes. I don't want them staring at the mouth. I don't want them staring at the eyes. So by having limited numbers of mouths, it allows the imagination to fill in the gaps. And don't have to worry so much about lip sync, right? Because that sucks sometimes. You're like, okay, there's a 6-frame delay between the phone and the system, depending on how things are. And then, hey, what if later on you want to add in a different language? Doesn't matter, because the mouth is just, And so you can like put it into different languages so much easier. And that's a really great thing. So that's kind of how that all goes through. And then let's move through, I'll go back to the top one. So let's say after the shapes are called and then hidden and all of that, it's just going through and it's saying, okay, is this showing? No, good. Is this showing? No, good. And it just kind of keeps going all the way down the line until the default face is the smile. Simple, super simple. All right. I want to get deep into like who the Silly Crocodile is too as well, because again, my intention here is to share with you why you create, because that's the most important thing. And we'll do some cinematics, we'll play around, we'll do lots of stuff. So let's take just a moment, and I'm gonna grab one of these little crocodiles here and talk to you about the origin really quick so that you have a better understanding of why it's created in the way that it is. This is the original Silly Crocodile. This is where it comes from, simply a children's toy. I played this with my daughter when she was real little, and I was like, what a fun little game. We're just hiding behind these little Peppa Pig playset toys and stuff like that. I'm like, this is so much fun. And this is how I used to play with it. Just like a kid would play with it, right? I'd run around and and that's all it did. It just made that. And then eventually I thought, yeah, what if I like learned 3D, right? And then like tried to share this with the world. I'm literally the first professional YouTuber. I've been making YouTube videos longer than anyone else in the world professionally. And I'm getting older. I'm not getting any younger, right? The audiences that I built across the many IPs that I've had are grown up. They have their own kids. As I think some people in this room actually saw me when they were like 4, and I'm like, oh, hey, cool, I'm old. But the great thing about going virtual, being a virtual character like this and teaching children different things is like I can immortalize myself in a new way. But still, utilizing my YouTube skills to simplify everything. So taking this toy, I thought, you know what? I'm gonna keep it as real as possible. I'm gonna keep it just like it is now, but I'm gonna do more with it. So I did a thing called secondary motion, which is basically taking the tail and just adding basic little physics. I don't have to do a single thing. Those physics are just doing its thing. I can bake them if I want, or I can just let them happen even after the fact that I record everything. The head is one simple bone that just moves up and down, and that is tracking my head as well. Like when I move my head, I move my nose, I move my eyebrows, it's tracking all of that. Same thing through the Apple AR kit. And then when it's moving around, I mean, just like, Manny, when you go to open up an Unreal Engine for the first time, you play a third-person project. That's all it is. It's a Manny capsule. And then the animation is just this. So what I did a long time ago is in VR, I actually put a puck on one of these things, and that's a little much, but I did. I put a VR puck on it, and I actually played with it like this. And so that was all of the walking animation I ever did for this character for the 5 years that I've been working with this character. And that's all I've ever had to do for walking. Now, you noticed his feet were switching back and forth. And so when he walks around, you can kind of see his feet. That is a simple material switcher. That's all it is. It's just swapping materials based on, okay, am I pressing right or left on this controller, or am I jumping? If yes, then after every delay of, I think it's like a quarter second, every quarter second, switch the material from this material to that material. And that's it. It's just like going through that. So again, it allows the mind to really just do more. Like for the kids, like when they watch it, they just apply everything. So I was going to talk about the intention for this. Anyway, going back. So as I played with this toy, I wanted to stay as real as I possibly could to how it's played with. And so Silly Crocodile started out again as just a toy and something fun, but it became something more. I realized that over time, this crocodile was becoming, oddly enough, me. Like, we do that. We apply ourselves to the stories and everything, right? I need to walk around now. I'm sorry. This is where I get really passionate. Silly Crocodile, when I started, was just this little tiny toy, just doing this little thing. And it was so much fun. But I noticed at first he'd go, yeah. And I was like, whoa, look, he said, yeah. Like, narrator, who's always been there, said something, and then it said, yeah. And then I was like, oh, hey, Silly Crocodile, do you like this? No. Oh, weird. Huh, what if I had a conversation with it? My wife's like, don't do it, Cory. Don't start talking. You've got this really great audience built up and they're international. And if you have these conversations, it's totally gonna cut them out. And I said, yes, but it's also going to drive dialogue. It's gonna allow something to come out. And as somebody who's been an actor for many years and improv and doing all these things, I was like, I'm gonna let this happen. I'm gonna let this character tell its own story. So the progression of how Silly Crocodile talked, it was like, yeah, 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 yeah. And then I was like, oh my, wow, look at that. And so I did that. And for a while, of course, I'm telling these great stories and kids are really connecting with it, right? Because it's for kids. You always have to remember who your audience is. But then the character did something else. It started in this weird way. Like I could actually use the character and it could talk to me without me telling it what to say. And I don't know what it is or why it happens, but what I think it is, it's like the child inside of me finally said, I have an outlet and a way to speak. Like this soul that has been living inside of me, and it just kind of like came out and I let it be. I just let it. And so the Silly Crocodile, the dynamic now is that this character is me as a child. I had a rough childhood. I'm not gonna get into it, no violins in here. I had a really, really rough childhood. And so this child, a 2.5D character in a 3D world, is different. He's neurodivergent. He doesn't really understand the world, but what he does have is this nature of happiness and enthusiasm. And that's what I've always had. I've always been that, regardless of how bad things were in my life, death and abuse and all these different things. But when that was happening, I was like, wait, I'm the narrator. Here I am in my 40s and I've got 2 kids who I'm doing my best to raise great humans. I'm gonna help the Silly Crocodile because, oh my God, I'm helping myself. Silly Crocodile became therapy. And this therapy became something that the world started to relate to more. All of a sudden, because I did this, my views started going up. The connection with people started just going crazy. My audience retention was going wild. And I was like, wow. But none of this would have happened if I hadn't used Unreal Engine. Hear that again. None of this would have happened if I didn't have Unreal Engine being able to do this stuff in real time. So think about your audience. Who is your audience? Who are you talking to? What's really important to you? Because you know who your main audience should be in the very beginning? It's yourself. You dig. You go deep. You understand the reason why you're creating something. Because that is the most important thing you can do. You can jump into a project and spend hundreds of thousands, actually millions of dollars. I've seen it. They spend all this money on this big tech and then they go, now what? And they have no vision. So they start creating something, these other people and these companies, and they're just like, well, I know if we've got to, build it and they'll come. But without reason, without a why, you have no reason to push forward through the hard stuff, through understanding who the thing is. So when you start out any project, this is what I do. I go, what is my intention? Who am I doing this for? What is the result that I want to have? Intentions are everything. Find that intention inside of yourself. Find what it is that you're talking to, who you're talking to, and build based on that. But go little by little. So many people spend so much money right off the bat. I got this great idea and I feel it, the universe has told me, and they spend all this money, right? But they weren't ready. Take your time. Learn the craft. Learn from the very simplest thing. Look at my file structure, by the way. I want you to see this. This, again, is coming from somebody who knows I didn't come from this background, right? But when I started out, I said, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna have the cleanest workflow and the file system. I can close my eyes and tell you exactly where anything is at any given time. Like let's go to something random, like Well, I guess we can go to the character, right? So open up character. There's the Silly Crocodile. I usually have like lots of different characters. And then good naming systems. You know where everything's going to be. Proper naming conventions for every single thing so you know what it's going to be called. This is so important, especially early on when you're creating. Because the simpler you can make it for yourself, especially in the beginning, the faster you're going to go when you finally get there. And when you collaborate with people or you're helping people out with a project that you have, you can just be like on the phone, oh, sorry, yeah, I don't need to look at my project. So go here, 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 here. I am not a very organized person in the real world because ADHD. But when I hyper-focus, there's no breaking me. My focus cannot be broken. I have the ability to learn at a speed that is insane, even though I read at a 3rd grade level. Not even kidding. Like I can't focus. I've never actually read a book in my life, and I'm working really hard with my son. First book I've ever read with him is actually a Huggy Wuggy book, Poppy Playtime. But the thing is, oh, that's another thing. When you're creating stuff, have that intention. Here's something else really great. In Unreal Engine, can I raise the hands? How many of you guys have kids? There's a lot of hands in this room. At home, I know you're raising them. This is another great way to connect with your kids. This is just another way to just really reach out. We have children now that grew up with video games, that enjoy video games, and here we are able to create video games with them and for them. And if you're in this room and you're watching at home, you have this interest. But this is what I do for my kids. Now, you know my story, my backstory a little bit enough, right? Silly Crocodile is the child version of me that I've allowed to come out, that I'm essentially letting therapy happen in real time and telling stories. Now imagine this. My children play characters in this as well. So what am I doing? My child self is best friends with my children. And that is something you cannot buy, friends. That is like one of the most special things I've ever experienced in my entire career as whatever you call me, because I've done many things. But that is amazing. And speaking of that, recently, I know a lot of you follow me on LinkedIn. And if you don't follow me on LinkedIn, make sure you follow me, Cory Williams, on LinkedIn. I share this stuff all the time. I'm an open book. I recently turned down an offer for $5 million for Silly Crocodile. And at first I wanted to throw up, because that's a lot of money. I was like, whoa. But then I really thought about what it was that I was creating. Like, when something like that it comes up to you, you really go, okay, now's the big question. What does this truly mean to me? And I was like, wow, with all these connections that I have, like I get to do good for the world. I get to help raise good humans. I get to help other creators tell other great stories because I want to lead by example in our community. That's why I want you to do so good. I want to help you grow. I want to support all of you in all walks of your life. I love this so much. That's why I'm here today. I got a little bit off topic there. So yes, I'm going to go ahead and let's just shoot something randomly so you got to see the real-time stuff. I'm going to get all emotional if I don't because I just love this so much. All right, here we go. All right, so let's go ahead and just record something. So what I'm going to do, I'm just sitting here. I'm going to go ahead and go to Window. Boop. So bring this back up to full. There we go. I'm going to go to Window, and I'm going to open up Cinematics, and I'm going to go to Take Recorder, and then I'll just grab Silly Crocodile. I can name it later, but you should name it. And I always run this at about 30 FPS because in kids' content, that's, for me, the win. So 30 FPS, and then I'm going to grab the source, go to Actor, and then it should be lit up. Anytime, by the way, if you're ever like recording a thing like this, yellow is always the player character. You can just grab that and bring it into your scene and record. So even if you're just like recording Manny, this is the way you can do it. So let's see, let's go to that, and then I'm going to click on this and make sure that it's there. And I'm going to say recording type, instead of project default, I'm going to say possessible because I like it to just be in my scene as it's needed, or spawnable either. Actually, it's supposed to be spawnable, so I can just open it up. I'm going to move really quick. And then go down to remove root animation. And I'm just going to hit record. 3, 2, 1. Okay. So Silly Crocodile is going to come walk this way without his face shapes moving. That's great. That's what happens when you work on a system that isn't quite yours. But on a laptop, it works great. All right, so he's going this way, and then he's gonna find a little space out here. Whoa, what's that? It's a big cube that I can't move my head to see up on. So anyway, we get it. All right, there we go. We just recorded that bit. So I'm gonna go down to Browse to, and I'll just open up this. There's actually so much more to this, but given the time that I have, I also want to keep questions open. I'm going to unlock, and then here, we already have Silly Crocodile moving, so I'll just go to where Silly Crocodile's at. And Silly Crocodile's moving. I'll hit G for game mode. Actually, I'm going to grab Silly Crocodile, and I'm going to turn off the feature that says, actually, I'll go straight into the blueprint. I'll turn off the feature that says is recording. Go here. I'll just unplug it for now because it seems like there's some finicky stuff here. Get that, boom, boom. Oh, I wonder if it's actually even recorded any of my stuff because, oh yeah, because it didn't record my phone. That's hilarious. I've had no problems, and then here we are. But problems are beautiful, aren't they? I love problems. One great thing about being a developer, like, be excited for problems. Like, problems are failing forward. Every problem is an opportunity to learn something you didn't know. And here I am, woohoo! I get to learn something I didn't know, except I only have a little bit of time to learn the thing. Darn it! Anyway, so let's pretend his mouth is moving. Actually, I can, this is fun. I can do this manually. So I can just like open up everything, and you'll see here all the face shapes. I can just like select them all, right? I'll just select all these, and I'll go to the plus sign here. And then I could, actually I could just even go over here. Since they're all selected, I can go to hide. So I'll go to render, and then hidden in game, and then I'll hit that little keyframe. Wow, check that out. That's amazing. Thank you. That's so cool. That's awesome. No, I'm serious. Like, this is a great thing. Like, if you have crashes, that's a normal thing. Never freak out. Dude, that's so cool. But anyway, I wish I had more time to do all that. So I think maybe what I had to do, since I don't have a whole lot of time, and I think that clock that I have there isn't quite right. There you go. I'll just leave him up. All right. Thank you all so much for your time and for coming, and for all of you at home. Love it.